the Galaxy Z Fold 5. This one right here. I want to give my review after 24 hours of using this bad boy, and I'll be honest with you, it's kind of interesting. Samsung's website, now that this phone is officially out, they still technically offer you the, 512GB model for $17.99. It depends on which color you actually choose. So if you choose, what's called black, or actually the thing is called Phantom Black, or you choose Icy Blue, you still get the upgrade. Now, if you choose, obviously, blue, or you choose gray, or you choose cream, you do not get the upgrade, and you're going to have to spend $1,919 to get it, or you get 256GB for $17.99. This, of course, I have right here is the Icy Blue, which, of course, is a brand new color with the Z Fold 5. And I want to give my thoughts and opinions again after a day of having this. And I'll be honest with you, I love it. I absolutely love it in every way possible. And if you follow the channel, you know I have owned a Z Fold 2, a Z Fold 3, I've owned a Z Fold 4, and a Z Fold 5. So this is my, fourth Z Fold series phone. And I'll be honest with you, it feels like an upgrade. It does feel like a true upgrade. And if you've been following the channel, you know I've been very critical of the Z Fold series, especially with the Z Fold 5, because it didn't feel like, on paper, this phone was better. It didn't feel like this phone was an upgrade, and as Samsung employees said, this phone could be called the Samsung Galaxy, Z Fold 4S, or some Samsung employees said they couldn't even call it that. So I went into buying this phone thinking, this is probably a bad thing. This is probably a bad idea, right? Buying a phone that a lot of people are trashing, even Samsung employees themselves. And, is this going to be worth the money? And in all honesty, again, like I said, I 1000% believe it is, right? The reason why I say that is because, first off, really what is difference between the Snapdragon, the brand new phone versus the old phone? Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, that's number one. The cameras are pretty much the same. The nits of brightness on the inside display is actually better than the Z Fold 4, and I promise you, you do actually notice that. That's actually a very nice feature that is, increased. Also, of course, the hinge is completely different, and now it actually folds completely closed instead of there being a gap, which, to be honest, I like immensely. Mainly, the reason why I say that is because when I'm holding it like this and looking like this, I can't really see inside the phone. Last year's iteration, you look like this, you could still see inside the phone. So every time I put it down somewhere, I put it in a pocket, or I put it somewhere, I always felt like something was going to get in that crack and get to that inside display. And yes, even though this is 5 generations of Z Fold devices, I still am careful and baby the inside display. And again, it is because it's plastic. At the end of the day, it's foldable glass, which is a thin layer of glass on plastic. So you want to make sure you take care of it. Even though, yes, these inside displays, have come a long way since the very beginning. They're a lot more durable, a lot better than they were ever before. You still don't want to risk anything when it comes to it breaking or any problems you could possibly have with it. Again, you gotta keep in mind, it's $1,800 phone. You're trying your best here to make sure, you're as perfect as humanly possible. Which, again, not everyone's gonna be perfect. I have put my Z Fold 4 through the ringer pretty much, and that thing survived the whole entire time. But then I saw other people's phones that broke, after 2-3 weeks of them coming out, and it has been an absolute mess. My Z Fold 3, actually, the inside screen broke, I think, after a year and a half of owning it. So again, like I said, just for comparison's sake, yes, there are phones that will go ahead in Z Fold series, especially, that will break after a certain amount of time. But any foldable phone, you're going to have that problem too. Now, the crease, listen, the crease doesn't look that much different on the Z Fold 5 than it does on the Z Fold 4, but it feels different. And I don't know, again, that's like one of those things where I don't know how to explain it without just saying that and sounding like a psychopath, but it's just when I'm using this phone versus Z Fold 4 phone, it looks the same, the crease wise. It's a little bit less on this phone, but not really that noticeably less. But it just feels better. It feels like when I'm watching media, I can't see it at all, obviously, but when I'm scrolling, the touch inputs, like when I'm touching where the screen is, right? That I have no problem with at all. And it surprises the heck out of me when I'm using this phone for that said reason. Because I always expect, when I'm touching the crease, like the Z Fold 4, I've done many times, when I touch the crease, it literally won't register my finger sometimes when I'm like scrolling, which is the most annoying thing ever. I don't have that issue with this phone. Maybe I'll have this issue after like a week or a month or a year of having this phone, but for right now, I do not have that issue at all. Now, I will say I have some issues with this phone. Some issues. Number one, the fingerprint reader is great. I love the fingerprint reader. But when you have a case like this, right, it's harder to get your thumb on the fingerprint reader because I have a big thumb, right? So when I use it's right now not, okay, there we go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, this could just be a case problem, right? Because, again, when I'm holding, I have two fingers actually on it. But when I do that, sometimes it works. Right now, for example, it just didn't work. And then it worked the second time. So it was kind of finicky. And that has always been a problem for Z Fold series phones for me. Where the fingerprint reader has always been kind of wishy-washy. Like, now it's working perfectly every single time. And again, like I said, it's just sometimes it doesn't register, sometimes it does. Facial recognition. Trash. Absolutely trash. And that might just be my personal thing, but on the outside display, perfect. It works great on the outside display. Every single time I look at the phone, I unlock it, it's perfect. The inside display, there's a 0% chance. It literally says face did not match. And I don't understand how. Because the outside display, every single time, it's my same face, it unlocks. Inside display, I open it up, right? Let me do that. Face doesn't match. How is that a thing? I don't understand that. Like, the outside display facial recognition works, the inside does not. And I don't know if I have to set up another facial recognition for the inside because I thought it would just have my system, like, already face registered. And the cool thing about this is when you do facial recognition, it has you scan your face with if you have glasses, for example. You scan it with your glasses on, and then you take your glasses off to scan it, just in case, like, you wake up in the middle of the night, and, you need to take your glasses off or whatever, or you have your glasses off, and you want to unlock your phone, which is cool. And I'm actually going to see this real fast. Does it work with my glasses off? Nope, doesn't. Just keeps telling me that it does not recognize my face. No idea why that's the case. No idea why that's the problem. It's only the inside display, by the way, too. Again, the outside display works perfectly fine every single time. Bam, within seconds. But the inside display, no. I'm gonna have problems every single time when it comes to, the facial recognition. Other than that, though, there is nothing else I have a problem with this phone. Like, at all. And I'm surprised because I thought it would have, like, maybe one or two, problem. No. It feels like an upgrade from the Z Fold 4. And maybe that's just my, instant honeymoon phase with it that I just got it. But it just feels premium and it feels so nice in the hand. And now, obviously, I have every single I have the Z Fold 4. I traded that in to get Z Fold 5. I have, of course, the Surface Duo 1 and 2. I have, obviously an iPhone right here. But, so I kind of forget how amazing it is to use. Because I haven't used my Z Fold 4 in a bit. When I traded in, the reason why I traded in was because I wasn't using it. So I was like, I'm just going to trade in. Why not? Get a couple, dollars off this phone right here. And I forget how amazing it is to use the Z Fold device. The Z Fold devices are, in my opinion, one of the best on the market. I have used a Google Pixel Fold one time. One of my friends had it. It was good. I liked it. I liked the outside display being a lot bigger. But again, for me personally, this outside display being skinny like this is not a problem. It really isn't. And I know some people have like the worst thing ever with this outside display. Oh my gosh, how dare you put this outside display like this on this? It's perfect for me. It works for me. It always, lines up correctly for me. I can use it with one hand without any problems. And I can use both. I have big hands, so I can use both without any problem. But for this one, with the iPhone, I can't reach the whole display. I can reach pretty much the whole display for this phone, which I do like. But just my personal opinion, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts, opinions, though. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.